Right. So the other day I woke up, right, and I went to grab my phone on the desk to turn off my alarm clock because my alarm's on my phone. I turned off my alarm clock and I lay back in bed because I was really tired. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll check YouTube while I'm lying in bed. So I open up YouTube onto the recommended page and oh, I see an interesting YouTube short. So I watch the YouTube short. Okay, that's interesting. Then I watch the next YouTube short. Okay, that's cool. Then I see the next YouTube short, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then sometime later, the app crashes, and I'm sitting there realizing, wow, I just spent 45 minutes mindlessly scrolling through all these YouTube shorts. What just happened? And I realized YouTube literally controls us. Like, it can take 45 minutes of our time without us really consenting to it. Like I didn't go, oh, okay, I'm gonna spend the next 45 minutes on YouTube. Cool. No, I just wanted to really quickly check YouTube, and before I knew it, I had spent 45 minutes on the app, completely gone. And I realized these companies, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, these short form content companies, they know how to keep you hooked. They know how to take advantage of your psychology and keep you on their apps for as long as possible. Because I mean, they want you to stay on their apps for as long as possible. Because the longer you stay on the app, the more you see the ads, and the more ads you see, the more money they get. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, they've hired these really smart hundreds of software developer nerds. All right, hundreds of software developer nerds to research human psychology and how to keep your attention. And they use these techniques in their apps to keep you hooked for as long as possible. These apps are worth billions of dollars, and so much planning has gone into these apps. Literally every single button on the app, every single pixel has been meticulously split tested to keep you on them for as long as possible. So, what makes you think that you can have control over these apps? It's you versus hundreds of software developer nerds. It's like it's like breaking into a drug cartel headquarters where all the guards have, machine guns and they're ready to point at you and you're walking in there with an inflatable toy bat. How can you win? It's a useless battle that you're fighting against these software companies. So it's pretty much impossible to moderate your usage on these apps, you know. And content is getting shorter and shorter by the year. I remember when I first started using social media um, in like, I don't know, 2008, and I was using YouTube. And at the time, videos were like, 10 to 15 minutes long. Most of them were over 10 minutes long because you needed to pass that 10-minute mark to um, get your video monetized. So I was watching only these really long 10-minute videos, and I could focus for the full 10 minutes to watch them. And when shorts started getting popular a couple years ago, shorts and TikTok and Instagram, suddenly I found that I wasn't watching these long form content anymore. I had to be watching this really short form content where I was seeing a brand new 15-second video, you know, every 15 seconds. So what this is doing is this is reducing our attention span, right? So our attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. In 2008, I could sit down and focus full attention on a 10-minute video, no problem. But now, most people, if they try to watch a 10-minute video, they're like, they can't even concentrate for the full 10 minutes. This video has only been going for about 5 minutes, and I guarantee you've already scrolled down to the comments, or you've already looked at the YouTube recommendations, or you've already checked your messages, right? We can't sit down and watch a full-length video anymore because this short-form content is diminishing our attention spans. And it's us versus these companies, these billion-dollar companies that have perfectly designed their apps to be as addicting as possible. It's a completely useless battle. I don't know about you, but I feel helpless to these apps. You know, I sit down, I'm a little bit bored, so I want to open this app and just have a quick look, while I'm just for a minute or so, have a quick look. And next thing I know, 15 minutes is gone, 20 minutes is gone, 30 minutes is gone. These apps are just eating up our time. Now you might be thinking, oh, but if you're having fun, it's not time wasted, dude. It's if you're having fun, it's not time wasted. But are you really having fun when you use these apps? Have you ever seen someone scrolling on TikTok or on Instagram? Maybe have you seen yourself do it? Are you actually having that much fun? You're just sitting there, no expression on your face, and every now and then when you see something funny, you're not actually having that much fun. So I think we would all be better to get our time back and focus it on stuff that we actually want to do. Because think back to your past week of social media usage. Do you actually remember all the hundreds of videos that you watched? Do you actually remember much? Maybe you remember a couple funny moments, but is that worth the dozens of hours a week spent on these apps? How exactly do we get our attention back so that we can put it towards the things that we actually care about? How do we do this? Well, there's no way around it. Attention is like a muscle. It must be trained. Like the chest muscle, right? The chest muscle, if you want to get stronger, if you want your chest to get stronger and grow, you need to train your chest. For example, bench press, right? You do bench press. If you're a beginner, you start with maybe the bar, or maybe even less than the bar, and you do that. And when you've mastered the bar, you add weights. And then when you've mastered that weight, you add more weight and more weight. Progressive overload, right? So you get stronger and stronger and stronger. Well, attention is like that as well. It's like a muscle. So for the past, decade or whatever, you've probably been training your attention muscle to be used to this really short form content. So how do you expect to be able to concentrate for long periods of time if you've been training with such short form content? It's like spending years training bench press with a twig and expecting to be able to rock up and bench 120 kilograms. It's pretty much impossible. So the only way to get your attention back, your attention span back, is to train it. You've got to, easier said than done, but you've got to reduce the amount of short form content you consume, and you have to get used to consuming longer stuff and doing things that require more concentration. So, challenge yourself from time to time to watch a full podcast and try to actually focus. Don't scroll down to the comments. Don't, switch tabs and go everywhere. You're going to want to do that because your brain is going to feel so bored. It's not going to be used to sitting down and focusing for long periods of time. But you're going to have to go through that pain of boredom, because through that pain, you will grow and your attention span will get better. Like when you bench press, you've got to push through that pain of those final few reps and your chest will get stronger. Same with your attention span. There's no way around it. You have to train it like a muscle. You've got to train with concentrating for longer periods of time and reducing the short form content that you consume. Now, it's very difficult to stop consuming the short form content because it's so addicting, right? So maybe I'll explain in a future video how to overcome this addiction of looking at short form content. But let me tell you, it's not easy. It takes a long time because you've spent many, many years building up the habit of looking at this content. So if you want to fix that habit, it's going to take a long time. It's not going to be a quick fix. I can't tell you like, oh, a quick tip to overcome scrolling, you know? And you can't just delete the apps. It won't work. Try it. Try deleting the app. What's going to happen? Within a few days, or maybe even within the same day, you'll re-download the app. That happens to me every single time. I delete the app. Oh, it's gone, right? Oh, the app's gone. Yes, I've overcome my addiction. But within a day, I've already re-downloaded the app. It doesn't work. You've got to slowly overcome it. You have to slowly unload this attention that you've lost. And it's not going to be fast.